Good morning, everyone. So let's start with a new topic today. That is what? Artificial hybridization. Fine. So first we will study about the meaning of this hybridization term, right? So as the name suggests, hybridization, that means we are producing what? Hybrids. That is the organisms, or you can say which are formed from the two distinct species, or you can say organisms having different characteristics, or you can say traits. So when we combine such two different traits from two different organisms of the same species or of the different species, at that time that is known as what? Hybridization. So here artificial hybridization, the term itself means artificial, that means man-made. Okay, so in this we are going to study about the, what you can say, some techniques, right, through which we can improve the crop production. Fine. So as you can see here, artificial hybridization is nothing but what? Crop improvement program, or you can say strategy, in which what happens? The desired type of pollen grains, right? The pollen grains which we want, right? So that desired type of pollen grains is used for the pollination process. Okay. So that means we are preventing the contaminated, or you can say unwanted pollen grains should not get landed onto the stigma. Instead, what we want is the desired pollen grains should landed onto the stigma, so that further pollen germination, pollen tube growth, as well as what? The fertilization process will occur, right? So that process only we are going to study in this particular topic, artificial hybridization, in which we are going to combine two different traits from two different organisms. That is the general meaning of this hybridization term. But in this topic, we are going to study some methods, or you can say techniques, right, through which we can achieve this particular, what you can say, we can achieve this particular type of this hybridization. Okay, so first is what? First technique, first step is emasculation. Second is bagging. One more you can add, tagging. Fine. Emasculation, bagging and tagging methods, or you can say techniques. Fine. So one by one we are going to discuss this particular terms in detail. Okay. So first is emasculation. As the term suggests, emasculation. Masculine in the sense what? Male characteristics, right? Related to male. So in this technique also, something is related to this male part only, male reproductive part of a flower, right? So emasculation is a process in which there is what? Removal of anthers. So obviously anther is a part of male reproductive organ of a flower, that is stamens, right? Anther and filament are two parts of this stamen, which is a part of male reproductive organ, right, in a flower. So removal of anthers, that means what? From a flowers only we are removing the anthers. So from which type of flowers we can remove? From the bisexual flower, right? From the bisexual flower. So bisexual, that means what? Both the reproductive organs, that is male as well as female reproductive parts or organs, are present on the same flower, right? So that type of flower is known as bisexual flower. So as the bisexual flower contains both male as well as female reproductive organ or part, right, we need to remove the male part from that. That is basically anthers. So if we remove the anthers, then obviously pollen grains are not going to get formed, because pollen grains are formed inside the anther, that is pollen sac, or you can say microsporangium. Fine. So if we are cutting and removing these anthers, so we are preventing that flower from the pollen grains of that particular anthers of that particular flower only, right? So this is a process in which what we do is we remove the anthers from the bisexual flower bud of female parent, okay, before the anther dehiscizes. Obviously, if the anther dehiscizes, that means pollen grains are released. So before the anther gets dehiscized, what we need to do is we need to cut and remove the anther part, okay, from that male reproductive organ. Fine. So that flower now becomes what? Emasculated flower. Fine. That flower from which the anther has been removed, that flower is known as what? Emasculated flower or flower. Okay, emasculated flower. Fine. Secondly, we have what? Bagging. So in this process, what happens? As the name suggests, bagging, that means what? We are tying a bag, or you can say polythene sheet, right, around that emasculated flower. Fine. So as you can see here, emasculated flowers are what? Covered with a suitable bag, right? With a suitable bag, so that we can prevent the unwanted or undesired type of pollen grains to land on the stigma, right? So to prevent such thing, what we need to do is we need to cover this emasculated flower with the bag. Okay, and that process is nothing but bagging. Fine, easy. Next point is what? When the stigma attains the receptivity. Fine. Stigma attains the receptivity. It means what? When the stigma is ready, right? Ready to accept the pollen grain. Fine. At that time, the mature pollen grains collected from the anthers of the male parent. Fine. That means what? We are talking about the desired type of pollen grain. And which type of pollen grain we are talking about? We are talking about the desired type of pollen grain. Desired type of pollen grain, because we want the desired pollen grain only to get landed onto the stigma of the emasculated flower. But this desired type of pollen grain is not coming from the same flower, right? Because we have already emasculated that flower. We have removed the anthers, right? So we are taking what? Desired type of pollen grain. We, that means what? A professional botanist, you can say, or the plant breeders. Okay, what they do is they take this desired type of pollen grains, and when the stigma is what you can say ready to take, or you can say to becomes receptive, is ready to accept the desired type of pollen grains, then at that time we will what? Dust that desired type of pollen grain onto the surface of the stigma, right? And then what we will do is we will rebag it. Okay, so you can say this method as rebagging, right? What we called it as rebagging, right? Here what we do is when the stigma becomes receptive, it is ready to accept the desired type of mature pollen grains. At that time we will dust our desired type of pollen grain onto the surface of the stigma, so that further pollen grain germination, pollen tube growth, as well as the male gamete formation, fertilization will occur. Fine. So for that we are doing what? Rebagging that particular what? Female reproductive organ, so that again we are preventing the undesired type of pollen grain to land onto this stigma. Fine. Okay. Moving forward, one more point is there in this. That is in case of unisexual flower. Now what do you mean by unisexual flower? We have already discussed in our previous lectures that the flower which is having only one reproductive organ, right? Either male or female. So since we are discussing what? Artificial hybridization. So we need to, here we are talking about unisexual flower, means we are talking about mainly the flower in which only female reproductive organ is present, that is gynoecium, or you can say pistil, right, consisting of stigma, style and ovary. So here in case of unisexual flower, already the flower is consisting of only what? Female reproductive organ, not the male reproductive organ. Fine. So is there any need for the emasculation procedure over here? Obviously not, right? So it is written that there is no need for emasculation for the unisexual flower in which only female reproductive organ is present, right? So in that case, female flower buds are bagged before the flowers are open. Why it is so? Because if the female flowers are not bagged, right, then what can happen? Again, the undesired type of pollen grain or unwanted type of pollen grain can come and land onto the surface of the stigma, right? So to prevent that, before the female flower gets mature, in the bud condition only, we need to what? Bag that particular female flower. Okay? Oh, fine. Then what happens when the stigma becomes receptive? Again, same procedure. when the stigma is ready to accept the desired type of pollen grain, it is unbagged and the desired type of pollen grain are dusted onto the surface of the stigma, so that further same process will occur, right? Pollen grain germination, pollen tube growth, male gametes formation, then fertilization and all. Fine. Next, so obviously when the stigma becomes receptive, pollination is occurring, carried out using the desired type of pollen grains, and the flowers are again rebagged so as to prevent it from the contamination from other undesired type of pollen grain. Is that clear? Right? All the methods are clear. Emasculation, bagging, right? Rebagging. Fine. And last is tagging. In tagging, what we do is, as the name suggests, tag or tagging, that means we are giving what? Some description, right? Regarding the whatever steps we have followed, right? On which day we have collected the desired pollen grain, from which plant species we have collected, right? So that all description we can note down in a particular tag, right? And we can tag that particular plant species in which we have performed this artificial hybridization method. Is it clear? Okay. Next, moving forward. So now we will discuss about what? Double fertilization. Fine, double fertilization. Up till here we have completed pre-fertilization steps or structures and events, right? Now we are discussing about double fertilization. So as the name suggests, double fertilization, fine, that means what? 2 times the fertilization might be occurring, right? Okay. So first of all, we need to understand the term fertilization. So it is understood fertilization, that means what? There is fusion between the male gamete and the female gamete, right? So that only we are going to observe over here. That is so clear only, fine, from the term only, that is fertilization. There is fusion of male gamete with the female gamete, fine. But now this double fertilization is a unique, what you can say, unique method, or you can say strategy, which occurs only in case of flowering plants or angiosperms. Okay, it is a unique event. It is an unique event which occurs only in case of flowering plants, or you can say angiosperms, right? Now we will see this particular double fertilization in detail. So first of all, we'll observe this particular diagram, which is what? Which is of pistil, or you can say gynoecium, female reproductive organ of a flower, right? Consisting of, we have already studied about this, fine, stigma, style and ovary, basal part, right? Ovary, inside ovary we have what? Ovules, fine. So this stigma, onto the surface of the stigma, obviously through the process of pollination, the desired type of pollen grain or the pollen grain, right, coming from the this same flower or the other flower depends on the type of pollination. Okay, we are discussing just the double fertilization, right? So in that condition, pollen grain will land onto the surface of the stigma. Then what happens? It will start germinating, right? Pollen starts germinating, right? And then it will further form what? Pollen tube, fine, pollen tube. So now, as we have already discussed, in case of 60% of the angiosperms, or you can say flowering plants, in which there is what? 2-celled stage or 3-celled stage? 2-celled stage, okay, in which the male gametes are formed after the pollen tube starts growing, right? But in case of remaining 40% angiosperms plants or flowering plants, what happens? We have 3-celled stage in which the male gametes are carried from the beginning, right? So here, how many male gametes are formed? 2 male gametes are formed, right? Here you can see 2 male gametes are formed onto the pollen tube, inside the pollen tube, right? Is it clear? So now, out of these 2 male gametes, 1 male gamete will get fused with the egg cell, right? And what happens to the other male gametes? So obviously there might be the fusion of other male gametes also, fine? So that we will see now. So inside this ovary, we have the structure of what? Ovules. Fine, ovule. So if we have already studied about the structure of female what? Gametophyte, or you can say mature embryo sac, right? So here in this diagram, you can observe that one of the male gamete will enter through this micropylar region and it will combine with the egg cell through the guidance of filiform apparatus and one of the synergids, right? It will enter towards the egg cell, it will fuse with the egg cell, or you can say female gamete, and it will produce what? A zygote. So here you can see zygote is produced, okay, formed. Obviously it will be, the ploidy of zygote will be 2n, right? That is diploid, right? One of the nucleus from the male gamete and another nucleus from the female gamete combined together to form a zygote, that will be diploid, okay? Zygote will be diploid. So here you can say one time the fertilization has occurred and it has given rise to zygote, right? First fertilization. Now what about the second male gamete? So here the second male gamete now combines with what? The polar nuclei present in the central cell. Okay, so there are two polar nuclei. We have already discussed this, right? So two polar nuclei present in the central cell and one nuclei coming from the male gamete, right? It is forming what? Again, second type of fusion, that is known as triple fusion, right? Triple fusion. So here you can observe what is formed? Primary endosperm nucleus, right? What is formed? Primary endosperm nucleus is formed, which is what? Triploid, 3n, right? Triploid. And that process is known as triple fusion, right? As we have discussed about the formation of production of zygote from the male gamete and female gamete, right? One of the male gamete and the female gamete, that is known as what? Syngamy, right? By which process this zygote is formed? By syngamy. And by which process this primary endosperm nucleus is formed is known as triple fusion. That process is known as triple fusion, right? In which one of the male gamete combines with the polar nuclei to form the triploid primary endosperm nucleus. And that cell, which was the central cell, now it is called as what? PEC. That is what? Primary endosperm cell. Is it clear? So you need to remember the full forms also. PEC, primary endosperm cell, right? And PEN, primary endosperm nucleus, right? Okay. So as you can observe, two times the fertilization has occurred, right? One is syngamy and second is triple fusion. So such type of fertilization is known as what? Double fertilization. Is it clear? Okay. So as we have discussed about what? Syngamy and triple fusion. So after that what happens? This central cell after the fusion, after the triple fusion becomes the primary endosperm cell, and then it will further develops into what? Endosperm, right? And through the syngamy, what is produced? What is formed? Zygote, which will further develops and give rise to embryo. Fine. So with this we have completed the topic double fertilization. Okay. Thank you.